Busted. It's another big game coming up this weekend, back at home against Brackley. Just sort of going into the weekend, how are the boys looking in terms of their fitness and everything this week?
Yeah, everyone looks really good. To be fair, we've had a good week of training. The tempo's been really good, as it normally is. The energy's been really high. We know the magnitude of the game on Saturday. Also a busy Christmas period coming up, so it's really important that the boys are looking after themselves away from the training ground as well, which they all do, and that shows on the training pitch.
And how important is that, as you mentioned there, managing yourself over a period as busy as this? Obviously you've got game Saturday and then pretty much Boxing Day, and then on the 28th you've got a couple of games in pretty quick succession that are big local derbies that are always high energy as well.
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a crazy period for everyone. There's a lot of games, a lot of turnover. It's tough when you're playing 2 games in 3 days over Christmas for boys to physically get themselves prepared between games. I mean, normally if we have a game on a Saturday, we have a 48-hour recovery period, but we're going to be asked to play sort of on the 3rd day, which is not ideal, but it's another challenge that I'll be put to the boys, and you know, it's something that, as I said previously, if they look after themselves off the pitch away from here, we do all we can while we're here to make sure they're prepared properly. It's just up to them sort of mentally to get themselves ready for the game and get us through this period with as many points as we possibly can.
And a few of the lads who've sort of been on the fringes of the squad, I suppose, getting a bit of a chance in recent weeks, but coming up to this Saturday, I mean, how's the squad looking in terms of who's going to be sort of available for selection for you?
Yeah, so everyone's available for selection, other than Greg, who's suspended from picking up his 5th yellow card last week. So there's only him that's going to be missing from this week. So we've got a full squad, and I know we've touched on it before, but if we're going to achieve anything, it's going to be a full squad that's going to achieve that for us. Everyone's as important as each other. I thought the boys who come in last week done really well. I thought with some good performances. But as you said, it's going to take sort of 17, 18 lads to get us where we need to be, and it's really important that they're ready, they have positive body language regardless of whether they're playing or whether they're not playing, and the attitude doesn't change, the energy doesn't change, and if we have that from everyone within the club, then we're hoping that it'll transfer to success on the pitch.
And how is that for you as kind of coach and staff? As you mentioned, you're going to need kind of a full squad to get through periods like this and sort of the season as a whole. Obviously all the forwards especially been sort of in good form, all 4 on the score sheet at the weekend, but obviously there's not space to necessarily fit them all into the team, so obviously it's going to be sort of lads disappointing to not play, but I mean, how's a hand on that kind of situation for you?
Yeah, well, that's obviously, it's the tough side for ourselves in terms of we want everyone to play, you know, we don't want anyone disappointed within the squad, but individually it's something that the players have got to deal with and understand that there is a big squad and we have got quality all over, and there is going to be times where we need to rotate to keep everything fresh and to keep everyone playing. So we've said it loads of times before, if boys aren't getting in the team, it's so important that they work harder when training comes and they get that opportunity to really show the coach and staff why they should be in the team. And everyone does that, to be fair. There's no one who sort of just goes through the motions in training because they haven't been playing, because as soon as the Saturday's game is finished, the next game starts, the next training session. So if you're coming in with negative body language and you're showing signs of that, you're still unhappy with not being in, then it's simple, you won't get in the team because the team's too good for you to get in if you're having that negative body language and you're not performing in training. So once we get everyone chomping at the bit and knowing that, right, I haven't played, but now I need to get my head down, work hard, show the team and the coaching staff why I should be playing. If we get everyone doing that, then that's a real sort of recipe for success.
Brackley now top of the league after Fylde got beat at Dartland last weekend. In terms of their form, I think there's only 4 teams in the league who've been able to score against them this season, so I mean possibly one of your toughest tests coming up here at the weekend. Yeah,
Brackley always a tough test regardless of where they are in the league. They've had the same group really now for a few seasons, which is definitely a strength for them. They're very organised, they're really solid in what they're doing. We've watched them back, we can see why they don't concede a lot of goals. But ultimately we're going to impose our game on them. We don't want to come away from our identity, and then it's up to them to be able to deal with that, and we think that we'll bring something different from other teams that they've played, and it's going to be a really good game. It's 2 teams who are playing well. It's something that I'm looking forward to, all the boys are looking forward to, and as long as we turn up with that real high energy, that high intensity that would demand, then we think we've got a really good chance on Saturday.